Really psyched about this session. This is on making moves on social media, and we have two really great guests. We have, of course, Spectacular Smith and John. John, how do you pronounce your last name?
McAdory.
McAdory from Spoke Hub.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being here. So we're talking about branding and marketing and making moves on social media. I think I'd like each one of you just to talk about your entrepreneurial adventures and how you use social media to grow an audience and accelerate your branding. Spectacular, do you want to start?
Yes, so a little bit about myself, you say?
First of all, why don't you tell, people know you, of course, from your music, but why don't you tell the audience about Adwiser?
Yeah, okay, so pretty much my company helps personality brands and aspiring talent go viral on social media and really getting their brand out and their voice out to the world. And we started off running different celebrity accounts, so we work with probably some of your favorite artists, but just to name a few: T-Pain, Kevin Gates, Soulja Boy, Bow Wow, Twister, Genuine, Avant. So we pretty much have over 100 celebrity accounts that we run. We did 7 billion post engagements last year and did 300 billion impressions. And we grew our clients following 79 million followers. So now we branched off into helping Fortune 500 companies and helping other celebrities and individuals monetize their social media also.
That's amazing. That's amazing growth. John, talk to us a little bit about Spoke Hub.
So Spoke Hub is a little different. We are actually a social media engagement app. So you can download right now on your phones. We took a little different path in terms of allowing influencers and business to engage with their audiences. So we're a group of 5 African American founders, and I'm based in Durham, North Carolina. And so we decided that looking at the social media landscape, where can people really come together to have a true intimate conversation? And we built an app for that. And so now you can have your businesses, you can have influencers, brand ambassadors come to one place, target their audience around a topic of interest related to them, and then they're able to build their audience and have a more meaningful conversation versus the passive scrolling on Instagram, passive scrolling on Facebook. You can now actually target your audience and target your brand and really build a true conversation, a true piece around that.
I think for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's knowing what kind of content to put where. So how do you initially start off? Like, how do you know, you said target your audience, how do you know who your audience is, which platform is best for what type of content? Maybe Spectacular, what was your strategy with that?
Yeah, so it all depends on what your brand is. If you have a more millennial-based brand, I would do more of an Instagram feel, or if you have more of the older market, it's pretty much more on Facebook. And if you have the Gen Zs, then they're more on like Snapchat. So it really all depends on what your actual product or company is, which is gonna let you know who you need to target and where you need to target them at. But pretty much it all depends on the demographic.
Gotcha. And John, what's Spoke Hub strategy?
Yeah, so basically Spoke Hub strategy is going after the concept of share of voice. So where now you're trying to find out how to target your brand, if it's yourself or it's your company, trying to say like how can I share a voice across all the mediums? And Spoke Hub kind of gives you that targeted conversation because from your businesses that customer service is the most important thing. It's mostly the thing that drives people to come back. In African American businesses, minority businesses, we always get dogged for our level of customer service. Well, 80% of people online that shop online want to have businesses to have some type of social presence. Well, what if you have an immediate hub where you can come in, you can have your business on a hub, and now you can engage with your customers in real time. And then what Spoke Hub is able to do behind that is give you data around your customers. And so now you're able to do a little more targeted marketing, have a little more targeted voice in terms of how you can bring your audience and build your brand and build your business, because not only are you getting them all in one place, but also you'll be able to get the data behind those particular, whatever it is they're saying.
How important is engagement? I know Spectacular, you're really engaged on Twitter with your audience. And John, how much is it a back and forth in order to grow your brand?
So sure, I'll start. So we build ourselves on engagement. We drive engagement, and the main thing is getting past that passive, what we call passive engagement, where you go to social media, you go to Facebook, and those things work. But what we're saying is, if you take your audience of 1 million people and say, and then if you can drive those down to a true 100,000 and be able to truly engage with them. Like George Lopez, he's one of our first influencers. He said Spoke Up is the most intimate thing on social media because he's having that direct conversation with his fans. And that is different from the other models. So now you're truly be able to engage. You can take your big following, which allows you to grow your brand, monetize those things. But if you really want to get down to target and know who your true fan base is, that's get down to your level of engagement. And Spoke Up allows you to have that level of engagement.
Yeah, so engaging, hello? Are you good? Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, so engagement is super important. A lot of people, when they decide they want to build a social media following, the first thing they do is go to buying fake followers or things like that. So that really do not do that. That destroys your brand because the consumer is super smart these days. You might think that you're getting over on somebody, and you know, I've got 1 million followers I bought for a whole lot of money, and you're getting 5 likes on your picture. Like, nobody's stupid. Like, exactly. You just look dumb to everybody. And that ruins the credibility of your brand. So really building that engagement, I would rather have a page with 100,000 followers and I'm getting, I'd rather a page with 10,000 followers and I'm getting 2,000 people to engage with one picture rather than having a page with 100,000 followers and having 500 likes on one picture. So it's always great to interact and engage and really finding the right content that's going to connect with your audience, that's going to give you the most engagement, which I call curated content, and really find out what's the best content instead of trying to figure out how to create the best content. You can figure out content that's already in your niche that you can actually use and give them credit on the post and actually have the most engaging content for your audience, because where you got the content from is the place where all your type of audience is, and all you got to do is use it for your own page. And now if it's viral for them, it's viral for you.
That's a great point. And you also mentioned that, knowing what your audience target kind of guides you to which platform to use, like Gen Z with Snapchat and millennials and Instagram. I think what's so overwhelming for a lot of entrepreneurs starting out or people trying to build their brand online is there are so many social media platforms now, and people are it's just moves so fast. What if you don't have the means to have a team yet in place to do the regular posting, or what are some tools you use or you would recommend for maybe a solopreneur, someone who's just really just starting their business, to be sure that they cover all of the platforms, or should you not be on all the platforms?
Yeah, they should just hire my company. No, I'm just kidding. So some tools, so some great tools to manage all your social media platforms, because every single social media platform you got to approach differently. So the way I will approach Instagram is differently than the way I will approach Facebook, because everyone have their own, I would say, vibe, right? And like Twitter is noisy. You can test out a lot of things on Twitter before you bring it to Instagram. So you can post 50 status updates about something, and then you can take the one that has the most retweets and favorites or likes, and then you can take that content and then bring it over to Instagram, which is more like a showcase type of platform. And then you know for sure you tested out everything on Twitter, and when you bring it over to Instagram, it'll actually perform good because you pretty much did your A/B test on Twitter. But one of the tools that I use, just to get back to the question, is called Hootsuite. So you can actually manage all your social media platforms at one time. Another is called Social. So that's social I'd say miles per hour so I can remember, but socialomph.com. And that's a way that's an actual tool that you can actually schedule everything out prior in bulk, and then you can literally just have everything going out all at one time. Like, I haven't tweeted in 3 years, but my posts go out every 4 hours, and yeah.
Wow, that's really good to know.
Other than just use his platform. Go ahead. I said the same thing.
Exactly. But also there, and with that, and with a lot of these platforms like Hootsuite, and they actually have algorithms to let you know, when you can release a post, to allow it to give it the best boost in terms of getting the most reaction to what's going on. So like sometimes it may be Wednesday, for the content you release, it may be Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Maybe the best time to actually post that, because that's when that audience may be driving through Facebook. So a lot of these companies look at when not only say you can store and schedule them, but they give you optimization and say, this is the best time to actually release this type of content. And so you can kind of balance both out to say like, yes, I can go ahead and curate a bunch of content ahead of time, but then actually get good data on the time to actually release it, so you're getting the best bang for your buck for what it is you're putting out.
Now, Spoke Hub, is it sort of a solution for that, for all the different platforms, or is it kind of in direct competition with, Hootsuite and those other tools?
It is its own social media platform, and we look at group engagement. So basically, a lot of us are old enough to remember basically the old chat rooms, and basically we're bringing the old chat room concept back, but by topic. So everything is topic driven. So if you want to, like, we have a hub for the Cavs Warriors game. So if you just want to talk about Cavs Warriors, you can go in that hub, and everyone there is engaging around the topic. We have a topic around Black entrepreneurship, and so that's kind of what it's driving. And so if you create a hub around a topic, around your business or brand, things that are important to you, your audience there is talking about that topic. So now you can schedule yourself to be there with your audience. Say, I will be in this hub between 1 and 2, and they can speak directly to you at that time. And the rest of the time, they just may be coming in to talk to other people around this related topic, because what we find is an influencer starts the hub, but their audience continues the conversation. And that influencer just has to come back to keep them re-engaged. Because if it's around something truly meaningful to them, they want to talk about that topic anyway. The influencer helps drive the conversation, but the audience helps keep it going. And so, and that's what we find. And so now you can schedule to be back at certain times and say like, oh, I'll be back between 1 and 2 on Tuesday. Then they'll all come back, they'll re-engage, and you can come back that Thursday, that week following. But if they know you keep coming back, that audience will keep building, and then they'll be more dedicated and brought to you. And that's kind of where George, and we have another influencer, her name is Chelsea Cross, and we even worked with Raw Ali for a time. And that's what they found, is that they can actually get in front of their audiences for a dedicated period of time.
So let's say you build your personal brand online. You amass thousands and thousands and thousands of followers. Now, how do you make money from that?
So yeah, it's plenty of ways to make money. One is sponsored posts. Once you actually get your audience up to a certain point, you can actually have people pay you for sponsored posts. It's something as simple as having an email that's attached to your Instagram account. A lot of people don't do it, but all you have to do is create a business, a Facebook fan page, and then attach your Facebook fan page to your Instagram account, and then actually have like a contact where say you can put your number, you can put your email, and then you can actually see analytics to see who all actually clicked on the links, and that majority of people are calling you, majority of people are emailing you, and you can actually know how many people are interested in emails or calls, and really optimizing it that way for people to know that they can promo. Because a lot of times people don't know, like people didn't know, all right, you can book me to come speak. They didn't know that until I put it out there to the world. Now they know that they can pay me for that promotion. And then another way is to do traffic acquisition. So you can actually send traffic to different websites and make money off of their advertisement and sell traffic against the actual ad sets. Another way would be to partnerships. You can do different partnerships with different people that you feel like is complementary to your brand, and work out, you send me referrals, I send you referrals. And that's a way to monetize your brand too, because you might have, if you are a real estate agent and you have a guy who's always selling houses, like that's a perfect complementary relationship, and now you guys can actually send each other leads and you can make money that way. Another way is just affiliate deals. So you can work out different tools, like I just gave you a tool. If I had an affiliate right there, you guys, hey, go get the tool from my website, and once you download the tool, you make money. So if everybody go get a tool for $1 a piece, and it's like 300-400 people in there, I make $400 just that quick. And it's gonna help you guys because y'all need the tool, and it's gonna help them out because they're getting referrals. So it's a lot of ways.
Yeah, and since we are at an application, we actually have a program for influencers, for brand ambassadors to actually make money through Spoke Hub. So as Spectacular said, as you build your following and sponsors start to come to your hubs and they can sponsor your hubs, then we will cut back a commission check based on the size of your hub. And so we have referral programs, we have different programs set up to allow businesses, influencers, brand ambassadors to actually get residuals from sponsorships coming into the hub, the same way on all the other platforms. So we're looking, and so, but for us, the number of users and what we call them hubsters that you need in order to qualify that program is a lot lower than what you have on some other platforms, because what brands are looking for, they're looking for authentic audiences, they're looking for people to have their voices, and if you can push a product and really be a champion for a particular product, for a particular cause, and someone wants to sponsor that, you don't need 1 million people. You may only need 1,000 people for someone to come in and sponsor that, and with that, then that comes back in the residual, and you're actually having real conversation around that, and you can see the analytics of what is driving my conversation. So we do what we call sentiment analysis. So if you post a picture, post a video, we can tell you in real time, like, thumbs up, thumbs down, if that was a good post. And so that way like, this is what's driving my audience to really engage with me.
So since we're living in a time of bots, Russian bots and whatnot, how do you tell if you start, really heavily marketing through social media, how can you tell that you have a real actual followers as opposed to bots and all these other crazy things out there? Are there any flags to look for?
So I have different tools that you can use to know if somebody's followers are fake or not. You can go to Google and put Instagram audit program or website, and you can put the person name in there, and they will tell you, hey, this person has 50% real followers. So you're like, holy crap, like, he only got 10 followers, 5 of them fake. But anyway, y'all can audit me whenever y'all want. All of them are real. But yeah, so pretty much you can do those different things and find little audit or different programs that's gonna show you if somebody, bought followers, because you will see a steady growth. But if you just see a big spike and all of a sudden they went from 10,000 followers to 20,000 followers overnight, but it took them 2 years to get to 10,000, something fishy there.
I would think
so.
so.
A rocket scientist to figure that out. But yeah.
John, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, so I spend my day and night making sure we don't get Russian bots into Spoke Up. Basically, because you're having conversation, and it's different from like posting pictures and videos, and because you actually have to engage back and forth and drive conversation, from an audience point of view, you'll probably be able to see real quickly if someone is not truly engaged in what you're saying and they're trying to be a detractor from what it is that you're doing. And so we give the power to the user. So you can kick people out, you can delete people, you can mute people. So you kind of, as a hub owner, you have the ability to kind of self-moderate your audience. And so we kind of give that back to you guys, because one, if you have a business, your brand is your most important thing. And so if someone is really driving something negative against your brand, you have the power to actually go in and say, like, I want to delete this comment, I want to delete this user, I just need to block this person. But we spend a lot of time and effort. I spend a lot of time, I've worked mostly on the technology piece, a lot of time and effort to ensure that we don't have these issues, and we're very vigilant about that. But a lot of it for you is, what is your audience saying? And if you have people trying to drive the conversation in a different topic, maybe someone posts something in your hub, say, come here to have this conversation with me, those can kind of be distractors from your audience, and you have the ability to actually moderate those people out of your hubs, those conversations.
Social media moves so fast, especially Twitter, and the squeaky wheel gets the attention on Twitter. And Twitter feeds can get real heated, real nasty, but they get eyes, they get attention. If you're managing your business's, timeline and Facebook feed, is it good to let some controversy and some curse words and let the fur fly? Is it good to get that? Is there no bad publicity as far as social media? Is it just you want to get the eyes? What do you think about that?
In terms of the fans saying something about your brand?
Well, yeah, let's say the fans are on your brand's timeline and they want to say something about Trump, or and then they start getting into fights with alt-right trolls, and it's getting a lot of eyes to your Twitter timeline, but it might not be something you really want associated with your brand. Is it something you would kind of just let, or would you delete? Using Spoke Up, would you delete those users? I mean, is it good to have some kind of controversy?
I leave it to the brands. We we pride ourselves on what we call social responsibility, digital citizenship. So we want to have a conversation. We want to let people have the conversation, and then we let each individual kind of, again, self-police, self-moderate their brands, if it's your business, if it's yourself, on how you want to have this conversation. So we kind of took a very conservative approach going forward. Like, we actually just started to allow cursing in the app. So people type curse words and things like that, or derogatory comments, they actually got blocked before they even got posted. Because we kind of want to bring civility back to social media. So we're not being the moral police or anything like that, but there are you kind of get into these, these social media back and forth and these fights, and you end up down this rabbit hole, and then you wake up and say, how did I end up here? And it happens to everybody. It happened to me, my friend, and now you're trying to say, like, how do we end up here? And we're trying to say, like, is there a way you can have these conversations in a more socially responsible, civilized manner, and actually have to use all the vocabulary in the King's English? So we're trying to say, like, we're trying to change that mindset of how to utilize social media, because we have a lot of schools, we have universities, different things that want to use the platform, and so we're trying to bring that level of conversation back. So, but I mean, spectacular can say whether or not going down that rabbit hole is good or not.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if they started fighting about Pusha T and Drake on your timeline or your business's timeline? I mean, the hashtag is going to bring a lot of eyes, right? When it was trending, do you let that go on, or what would be your advice with that?
Yeah, so I think Trump mastered this. Yes. So you said people talking about Trump and got something to say about Trump. I think everybody got something to say about Trump. But if it's on your timeline, I mean, that really doesn't affect your brand, right? But at the same time, it all depends on what type of brand you want to be. Do you want to have a controversial brand like Kim Kardashian and Kanye West? Like, they're super controversial, and everybody think everything is about mistake, like everything is planned. Like, I guarantee they have a meeting and it's like, all right, it's your turn, Kanye. All right, I need a girl. Ran out of girls, they got one more person. Let me see, okay, let's go. All right, so everybody is getting their own little controversy. Like, Kanye just had this huge meltdown, and everybody's like, oh my God, Kanye. And then I was like, all right, Kanye's having this big meltdown, my whole company. So it's like 15 women in my company. And like, as soon as I walk in my office, they're all talking about Kanye and what's going on with Kanye. And I was like, all right, y'all really think this serious? No, he's crazy, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, what is he gonna say after this? Does he have a project coming out? What's after that? And lo and behold, he had a project dropping. So he's a smart marketer, and the same thing with the Kim Kardashians and all of them. They do all this crazy stuff, and then right at the end, they're promoting something once they catch your attention. But us as consumers don't even realize what they're doing. But I'm in marketing, so I understand that. But the average consumer is just thinking like, oh, they tripping or whatever, and everybody's talking about it. But the job is done well, because now the first thing I walk in my office, the CEO, I'm getting a phone through in my face. How dare they put their face on Tupac picture? Like, what? 30 minutes later, advertisement up about her makeup line. I was like, gotcha. Like,
right. Wow. Okay, well, thank you both very much. I think to extend this conversation, we'll open up for questions. So.
Hi, thank you both so much for sharing so much value, because I myself, as a marketing student, am just eating everything that you're saying up. So real quick, is there any advice on how to gain more followers and more engagement on Snapchat that you all would give as far as advice? Because I know, I mean, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are pretty, in my opinion, are pretty simple to, master after a couple of, trials and errors. But you like Snapchat more. Like, how do you get to DJ Khaled's level? How do you do that?
You gotta yell. So, yes, Snapchat, I think it's good to get influencers involved. If you want to get your Snapchat going, they still have the little screenshot thing, and you can add people. That's a way to actually do it and actually pay influencers. A lot of these influencers you think cost a ton of money don't really cost anything. Like especially if you see, like I said, business inquiries or for promo or shout out for shout out. Like you can pay some of these niche pages and parody pages. They don't really cost much money, and you can pay them $20, $50, and they got 300,000 fans, and they have like 4,000 people engaging on one picture with like 200 comments. You can get them to post a video of you or whatever your product is, and then you can actually put the little thing in the middle to actually screenshot and tell them screenshot the ad and get them a reason why. Do a giveaway. Hey, listen, we're giving away Apple Watch. People love Apple. They're giving away an Apple Watch, right? Jump over the moon for Apple Watch. So tell them, hey, I'm giving away something over here. Screenshot this. I'm giving away in 24 hours. Pay them $20. And once you pay them $20, they put it in their story feed or on their feed. And now everybody's running a Snapchat because they want this Apple Watch. And now you got them. Now once they're following you, you just got to keep them entertained and nurture that conversation and just really get them to engage with your brand. So now when you're starting to promote something, they're more likely to actually communicate with it and actually purchase your product.
Hi, I'm Cole, founder of Sisters Traveling Solo. My question is, do you think all companies need to be on all social media platforms? Because my company, we've hit 50,000 members in the last year on Facebook. Our struggle is Instagram. We have about 2,500 members, but most of our engagement comes from Facebook. So I'm wondering if I should just leave Instagram alone and just focus on continuing to grow our Facebook group, which I hope will reach 100,000 probably by the end of the year.
Okay. What is your demographic for your?
It's women only.
What's the ages?
28 to 65 based on Facebook Insights. And the engagement is on Facebook is 262,000 as of last month.
That's nice. Okay, and what are you selling, or what is your product?
So we do group travel, trips for women all over the world.
You definitely need an Instagram account for that.
Instagram?
You definitely need an Instagram. Travel works really well on Instagram just because you can edit the pictures and make it look so luxurious and so good.
Well, we do that through Facebook. So all of our trips are sold out until 2019, May of 2019.
Well, you want 2020?
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I was just saying.
I can do that.
Yeah, I agree with Spectacular. I don't think I think especially for travel, because it's such a visual thing, that I think Instagram is probably a great platform for that.
Okay.
And then I don't know if and across most businesses, I think utilizing the tools you have available to you, especially since a lot of them in the beginning stages could be free, I think there's no harm in trying to curate content across multiple of these platforms.
Hi, I'm founder and CEO of a B2B software company, and I'm wondering if you have any recommendations for B2B companies on what they should be doing in social media, if anything at all.
Yeah. You want to take off?
Sure, yeah, so part of our platform is actually working with B2B and working with businesses to help build their brand. And so depending on what type of software do you guys develop?
It's skin tone matching software that we license as a service to fashion and beauty companies.
Yeah, so here now, like on probably Facebook, Instagram, different platforms, you can probably actually be able to demonstrate and show, anyone who spoke will be able to demonstrate and show how the software works, and then they can have conversations about how well the product's working. And then for you, the biggest thing is going to be your customers. It's going to be your audience, and your audience is going to be able to drive the people using the software to be able to show that. So if it's dermatologists, if it's consumers, however that is, your audience is what's going to drive your business to continue to build and move forward. So being able to engage with your audience, and even on a platform like SpokeHub or Facebook and Instagram, allows you to actually build that out. So I think there's always B2B plays in social media, but the difference is it may be actually, instead of targeting an actual business, it may be targeting your consumers to say, come here to give me reviews and information on my actual product and how it's working. So if it's dermatologists, again, or the actual customers that are using the product.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rochelle Lynn. I'm the founder of The Success Script, and I have a question about building brand ambassador programs using your social media and to help you grow your network. Would there be any advice that you would give on implementing a good brand ambassador program via social media?
Hire my company. All right, no more plugs. All right, so so what I would do is I would figure out a way to find the people who believe in what you're doing. And when you get those cheerleaders for your brand, they pretty much take over what you have. Like they're the campaigns, they're the quote unquote street team like back in the day, and they're campaigning your product. You know, I have one of my guys, we did a campaign together where we launched something called Dabbing Santa Sweater, and we did 37,000 units in 1 month and $2 million in gross revenue. But all this was from all influencers, but once we did our paid campaign, we got all of our cheerleaders, Amber Rose, like, you know, Deion Sanders, Kevin Gates, Kevin Hart, like everybody was putting on this shirt like a jersey, because everybody wants to be a part of a winning team. So if you have a winning product, they're gonna wanna like actually be proud to sport it and represent you and your brand. So you're gonna have to start paying to play at the beginning, but once you get your cheerleaders involved, a lot of people you can actually give product to for a post, and you don't even have to say, hey, what's your size? Reach out to them, say, okay, can you post this for me? And you know, if you want, I would love for you to post it. If not, no worries. You don't want to put the pressure on them, but 9 out of 10, if you give them something in return, I mean, if you give them something for free, they're going to actually feel like, all right, I owe them, right? That's just human nature, right? And then once they get the item, then 9 out of 10, they're going to tag you, post you, say, hey, just in case you was thinking about tagging me, here goes my username, you know, and then it's like, all right, hint, hint, like, post my crap now. So that would be good for you, and really just really show them love and you know, pamper them. People like to get pampered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Saba Haley, and I'm in the income tax industry. So my question is, for me to be in a so-called boring type of industry, how do I make it interesting for people to even interact with me on social media? Because I've tried everything, like tax tips or whatever, but then I get no likes or anything, but then all of a sudden if I post a picture of myself or on vacation, it's like a completely different, you know, response. So how do I make it interesting?
You know, it's funny, right? I was on the plane and I was talking to this lady, and is Deborah here? You here? I actually let her drive with me here from the airport. Picked up a stray. But I was talking to her about, she said she has a nonprofit and it's boring. But I said, do you think mattresses are fun? Like, is that a fun topic? Is it? No, not at all. So it's a company that's named Casper that literally sell all their mattresses online without you touching it, feeling it, laying in it, nothing, and they're viral online. So if you want to go copy somebody's formula, they already have all the breadcrumbs. All you got to do is start from the end and pick them up and figure out exactly how they did it, but they made it exciting, and they're like $1 billion company or something, all from selling mattresses. Like, come on now. So if you're selling income tax, that still has some type of funness to it more than a mattress. So if they can do it, you can do it, and all you got to do is apply yourself and follow their formula to success.
Right, you could even look at some of the other tax softwares out there like H&R, Intuit, things like that, and say, how do I follow some of the things that they're doing to engage your customers, and saying, like, you know, there's a benefit in listening to these tax tips, and maybe even get testimonials from your current customers, and say, and the people you advise, and say, like, this is the successes they had. The funner you make it, and the more people believe that your desire and actually wanting to do this, the more people actually want to come and follow you. So it's not about, you know, like if you say, like, here's a tax tip, and my next 5 posts are about your vacation, they're like, well, maybe she's more interested in her vacation than driving your business. So, you know, you probably need to curate some of the things you're doing to really drive the level of engagement, doing an awareness campaign, going into the tax season. And even now that the taxes are over, like, how do you start saving for next year? How do you start preparing for next year? And then that way, when it comes time for people to actually pay for your service, then now you've actually built that level of awareness, that level of trust in your audience, because you've actually been probably talk to this, subliminally driving them to say like, I am a tax expert. So when I post something, they'll actually want to listen to me because they've seen me do this over and over again.
So I got a quick question for you. Are you the face of the brand, or are you just posting like little quotes or videos or whatever that has nothing to do with you?
No, I'm the face of the brand.
So you are campaigning for it?
Yes.
Okay, so like just to piggyback off of what he said, really just finding other people that's in the tax brim and figure out who's crushing it. Like somebody's got to be crushing it. Like who's that tax person that got 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and reverse engineer what they're doing? What content are they posting, and take their most viral content out of 100 posts? You go look and see what's their top 20 posts. And after they top 20 posts, you can either duplicate the same thing that they have. Like if they posted a table with two water bottles on it, guess what? I'm gonna post the table with now 2 juice bottles on it. I mean, if that's what everybody like, I'm gonna give them what they want. So really, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Peace, brothers. Before I get to my question, Spectacular on the hotline still gets crazy spin. Like people go crazy when I drop it in parties. So I gotta play every R&B set.
You have to be a rapper the way you holding that mic.
Oh, nah, radio personality. Being a radio DJ, I deal with artists. So what tips would you give artists dealing with social media in 2018 on how to market their brand and market their music? This is for both of you guys.
I was gonna plug my company again, but I'm gonna just leave it alone this time. But yes, so I think one of the main things to do is really get influencers involved, because they're so cheap right now. The right ones, the ones that ain't, feeling all snooty duty, but you can find the ones coming up that's gonna support you in your music. They have different programs which you can get like shares. You can start messaging, inboxing influencers and ask how much they charge you for a share. Get a viral video, and then off the viral video, you can add your music on that viral video, because people are, the average person, if something goes viral now, it'll go viral again like a couple months later, because it didn't change because the time length of it. It's just it's viral content. So if you can put music behind it, that will get people familiar with it. And even I did a campaign where I did a viral video that got like 150 million views on it, but I put the Shazamness song right in the corner as a watermark. So as you having this music playing and they see the Shazam and they like it, it now is giving them direction on what they need to do, because some people don't want to think. That's why you think they got mannequins in the mall. Like, they just like, I want that outfit. Like, I don't even want to think. So the same thing with the Shazam button, and they hear it and it's like, all right, Shazam it. See, all right, sales, streams. Now they know who you are. So you just got to be creative and in the way that you market yourself, and and get other influencers involved with it, and actually give you social proof.
Yeah, I'll just speak about that. It goes along with the other influences you have, because if you're talking to young artists and they're trying to up and coming and trying to get signed by a label, the first thing they do is they look at, are other people actually into their music? And so they'll go and look at it and say like, okay, are other people tagging this guy to drive them back and on their social media pages? How many shares are they getting? And so they as they build their audience locally in the area, and that's where they start. So if you say like, we just found out both of us from Miami. So like if you say, if you're a local artist in Miami, and probably when he was coming out, he's a local artist in Miami, the city rallied around him, and so he built that up. And so like, but if he had no following in Miami, but someone liked him in Tallahassee, they're like, well, what's going on in Miami? Because that's where they're based. And so the same thing to your local artist. If I'm assuming, I don't know if you're from Charlotte or not, but if you're here and the local scene is really driving and backing them, then that virality, that push to move them to the next level, especially in the social space, will automatically follow, because the ground is pushing them out.
Hi, my name is Lauren Miller, and I'm the founder and CEO of Can't Stay Put, a lifestyle brand. And so I was in the influencer space probably like 2013, 2014. I was 25, getting flown out, getting free stuff, and it was cool then, but I got to a point to where I felt like I was pimping out my platform for a check. And I realized that Well, to a certain extent, because I realized that I didn't necessarily want to be an influencer because I had a discount code. I wanted to be an influencer because of my voice and what I was doing. And so could you speak on the balance there? Because now I'm on Instagram. That was almost 4 years ago. And when I see sponsored posts, I just scroll past. I don't even engage in it because I know they're getting paid for this. I don't necessarily know that they really like this product or whatever they're doing. So could you speak on that?
You hating on the sponsored posts?
No, I'm not hating on it, but I was there like 5 years ago. But I decided, I was just like, I needed to figure out another way to make money outside of just sponsored posts, because is my voice really truly authentic if they know I'm only getting paid to post this? So I feel like you just have to find a healthy balance with your.
All right, so I have a lot of, like, I go back and forth all the time with influence with this. The moral of the story is, those people who will say something to you that's feeling like you're whoring out your brand, like, they're not gonna pay that mortgage when that time comes to pay that. Like, when that water get cut off, they ain't coming with buckets of water to help you out. So, like, if that's how you're making your money, then you just gotta figure out a way to make it come off like non-addy, you know, not cheesy, and get your money, right? It's a guy my company was giving him 60 grand a month. And he was like, oh, my engagement is going down, you know, my views, I'm not getting 1 billion views anymore, I'm just getting 900,000. I was like, yo, like, you talking about this little views you're getting 60 grand at 21 years old every single month. So you got to understand that a lot of times that you might not always have those situations that's coming to you, those opportunities. And when things get rough, you're gonna think back like, damn, I wish I would have took those checks that I turned down because I felt like I was watering down my brand. But you just gotta figure out a way to have, to do it in a way where it's not so salesy, where you still don't feel like every single post you're posting is about a product. So, and you can take advantage of Insta stories and, you know, and mix it up. But I would say get your money while I was there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think it just kind of depends on what you want your brand to stand for and what you're looking to convey, and if that works for you. And I think for me, I just found other ways to make money, because I didn't want to, like I said, pimp out my whole platform to sponsor posts, because now it's a very saturated place. And so some influencers that I follow, every post is an ad. And I'm not knocking them. I still give them that like so they can get that impression, they can get that number, so they can keep on getting those checks. But I'm not moved to act on behalf of that product, if that makes sense.
I think also, and even speaking on that, is that you can determine who's going to sponsor you. So you can decline if you don't like the brand. Yeah. So and just so everyone knows, the reason you see more sponsored posts on Instagram and on Facebook, and because we had to deal with this, is that the government made it to where they had to tell you who was sponsored and who wasn't sponsored. Yeah. So if you believe 3 years ago these same people weren't pushing sponsored brands when they were talking about Target, and I'm look at my new, look at my kids, Cat and Jack shoes. Target was paying them. They just didn't have to say Target was paying them. Right. Now everyone does. So now you're just seeing the curtain's been pulled back, and you're seeing all the influencers that are getting these sponsorships. So it's not. So what you're experiencing now is basically like your eyes are now open to see all the stuff that's out there, but it's no different than anything that was going on before. And in regards to your brand, like I said before, your brand is your most precious thing. So you make determinations and decisions on, like, do I want Coke to sponsor my brand, or do I want some other healthy choice option to sponsor my brand? And that's a personal choice to you. And then you make decisions like, am I going to leave those dollars on the table because I want to go either way or not? But I think with all of it, you're just seeing more sponsored posts because they've always been there. But now the government is allowing you to saying now you have to disclose that this is a sponsored post. So I think that's why you're seeing a lot more, because it's not like there are that many more sponsors that came to the market, is they have to tell you we are actually being sponsored.
And with that, we're going to have to wrap it up. I'm being told we have to close out. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
He was like, oh, come on. I was all kind of sad for a second. I was like, geez. Thank you, gentlemen, for your insight on, my name is Uche Agba. I manage public relations for a lot of municipality government brands in San Antonio, Texas. And one of the issues, not necessarily making money, but one of the issues is about security on social media. And I'm sure you guys face this. You handle a lot of big brands. You handle a lot of influencer accounts. Well, how do you guys account for security and ensuring that that data is not stolen or that data is safeguarded?
Yeah, so me and my company, we basically have like two-step verification processes. because somebody actually hacked my page before, but you know, I just messaged him and I was cracking jokes. I was, oh, you cool, man. I'm gonna get a page back. All right, cool. I ain't panic. But yeah, I got my page back. But you know, everybody's not gonna be that, you know, that lucky. But just two-step processes, two-step verifications, making sure they can actually get into your account. Is that what you're talking about when you're talking about security? Is that effective? Yeah, so it's very effective. So if they get into your account, somebody who's not supposed to be in there, is coming from another place that don't usually log into your device, it'll send you a text message saying that, hey, was this you? Or it'll be a pop-up on your actual phone or your devices saying that, hey, this person tried to log in from this area, was this you? And then you can actually say, yes, this is me. Another one, if you're on Facebook, you can actually do Facebook Business Manager and put your account on Facebook Business Manager. So if they're not an authorized person, they don't even see none of your pages. It doesn't even exist to them unless they go to a certain place on Business Manager. Then it'll send them the code. But if they get on your account, they won't even see none of your pages to even hack or do anything because they're not an authorized user. So they go to hack it, and it's like you go to rob a store and nothing is in the store. And when you get there, like, what the hell? So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we take security very seriously. So, you know, from a provider perspective, we have all the security measures and everything's in place. You know, if someone says and then we verify, you know, if you're an influencer and you reach a certain level, like we verify your account, you verify your existence to make sure that that person is you and no one just create an account, you know, trading on your name. And so we, you know, and then we go through, you know, we review our content constantly and we go through moderation, you know, to make sure that, you know, one, that no one's posting anything nefarious or crazy in there. And then and on the data side, you know, we house and hold the data. We're not going to do things like Facebook with Cambridge Analytica and all the other things like that, where we don't share data on anybody. If you're if you're a Spoke Up user, and say a brand wants a data report, your name is actually anonymized. So they may see like, this is the post they said, but it will never be attributed to that particular user, because it's really more about what the conversation was about and how that conversation helps grows your brand, and not the individual that actually said the comment. And so, and that's how we kind of look at data on our side.
Hi, my name is Michelle. For Instagram, how do you choose the right hashtags and influencers for your brand?
You want to go? So the right influencers for your brand, they actually have a tool that you can use called socialrank.com. You can actually put in a keyword, and then every influencer with that keyword will pop up, and they will have the actual amount of followers that you can actually target, and you can just DM them and see exactly like how much they charge for a sponsored post. But it's really about like what is your actual audience. So if I'm an artist and I sing R&B music and my demographic is female from the ages of 25 to 35, then I'm gonna target other people who actually are in that, other artists. So I would target Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Rihanna, Drake, and I would actually target those hashtags and follow the people, do the follow-unfollow method. So everybody who's in those hashtags, I follow them. And then once they follow me back, then you know it's up to you to unfollow that person or just keep them on your actual list, and actually do likes for hashtags too, and draw traffic back to your pages.
And John, any final words on?
No, well, on Instagram, I think like what he said, trying to target and identify who are the people that kind of drive their brand and drive the target. I mean, we're fledgling, we're up and coming social media platform. So you know, we have Instagram, we use Facebook. So we use these same targeting methods to try to build up our presence and our profile across social media as well, to drive people back to the app. And a lot of apps, a lot of companies use the bigger social media platforms to be able to do that. So I think that searching out to see what others have done, and then seeing if they can be an influencer for you is important. But utilizing the tools that are out there are good.
So I have something before we wrap it up. So I actually was telling Black Enterprise that I do have a free training that I want to offer you guys for Black Enterprise. And it's pretty much an hour training, like an hour and 30-minute training on how to build social media followers, and basically how my company made millions of dollars from doing it. And I'm giving away those strategies, and my 3 best tips, secrets on it. So y'all can take the number down, just text it, hashtag course. So it's 786-661-1224. So I'm gonna repeat it again, 786-661-1224, and text hashtag course. Hashtag course. Thank you. Yeah, so text me, save it, make sure you save your name in my address book once I send you the link, and whatever social media stuff I have coming up, or my podcast on talk about social media. So my podcast is called The Spectacular Experience, and I just talk about, you know, social media motivation, a lot of things like that. So, you know, see you guys at the training session, free training session. It's going to be really good.
Let's give John a spectacular round of applause for amazing insight.
And just to piggyback on that, and so if you want to take the stuff he learns and then get paid on Spoke Hub, you can email us at marketing@spokehub.co. So after you take his course, come see me, and then we'll
2 resources.
We'll get you some dollars.
Thank you both so much today.
Thank you.
And thanks everybody for attending.